Welcome back to the Nightlife Podcast, Season 3, Episode 17. All right, so today it is extremely sunny and hot over here in Miami. And my guest is someone who is probably not happy that he just had to turn off the heater all the way from Minnesota. I want to introduce my new friend, Angel. Let me bring you over. Angel Ramirez, how are you, my man?
I'm doing good, trying to keep warm over here in Minnesota.
There you go. Angel, first of all, I have to say thank you, man. You are the first person that I bring onto the show and brings my book with you.
Yep.
Thank you. It's usually the other way around. They come to the show and then they take the book, a new book. But,
okay.
I'm glad that this time is the other way around. So, all right. So, Angel is a promoter. Angel, well, DJs. What would you call yourself, actually? Let's go there first.
I've been DJing for about 19 years. I've been doing that since I originally from California, and I grew up DJing. I moved to Minnesota. But at the same time, while I DJ'd, me and my wife did photography. We do professional video. So I'm all over the place. But I guess I'm a DJ first. But where I'm at right now in my nightlife career, I'm a promoter because I also have a group of DJs that I bring out to my nights because I can't just focus on DJing. It's about the whole event. So
correct.
I kind of do everything if I have to. But I'm a promoter and a DJ, so when I feel like jumping in, the night's already at the prime time, I want to jump in, I tell the guys, hey guys, let me get on, and I go in there and do half-hour set. And so I still do both. I still consider myself a DJ. I have it in the background, but it stays here at the office, and the guys bring their gear and everything. So I still DJ. I think that's where my first love of that came, is the music. And when I grew up, saw the nightlife, so I was always involved some way, somehow.
So first of all, let me tell you, bro, you have a face that I would never think when you're talking about wife and, you've been doing this 19 years.
Yeah.
I thought you were like 22, 23 years old.
I just turned 20. Oh, no. I turned 30
there you go.
November. So
see, that's good. You're already lying about your age. You're a real promoter.
Because it's a late birthday. It was in November. So I just turned 30. I still can't get over the point that I turned 30 years old.
Yeah. So,
I still feels young.
So you're a DJ. Have you been DJing in Minnesota all this time?
When I moved out here when I was 15, me and my dad were doing mobile, like the weddings, the quinceañeras over there in California.
Right.
So we actually still brought our equipment, and we have one family member that lived in this state, and we got a couple of gigs from their family friends. So I continued to do the private parties. I was still like 15. So this year in September, I'm going to actually live in Minnesota the other half of my life, 15 years.
Nice.
So I still continued it. I still have a wedding company. Me and my, like I said, I have a team, my wife, and I have a couple other DJs that we do photography, video, and DJing for weddings. So, that's what we specialize in. We do a lot of weddings.
Okay, let me ask you, after 19 years DJing, or when exactly was it that you decided, you know what, let me add this to the resume. I want to be not just the guy behind the booth, but the guy that is also on the other side and not being able to play all night, even though I'm sure that's probably your love, the love of music is never going to go away and playing. But in the end, when did you decide, all right, let me be in this other side of the equation?
I think it was 2013.
Okay.
So what was that, 7 years ago?
Right.
It wasn't too serious, but I started to try to brand my name better and everything. But I started throwing smaller events, smaller scale. I think what I got addicted to is getting results,
Right.
So that's the main thing, bringing people out to your parties, having them have a good time. And the thing that made it fun for me was I would throw them in not just because nobody's going to give you good spots right away. I would throw them in suburbs, wherever, and people will go and people will show up.
Right.
I did all the hard work. I did the nightclubs on the bad nights that nobody wanted to do, on the Wednesday nights, the Thursdays, and from there I would gain I'll make new relationships. I meet new people. 5 years later, when I have somewhere else that's really nice, They followed me there too, but they remember the day when I was DJing in front of 50 people or
Definitely.
25. So,
You have to pay your dues. You got to
oh
start
yeah,
somewhere, and you know what? There's a lot of people that get discouraged when they go and they say, you know what, I want to take a gig here and promote this place, and they go, no, you know what, I got Tuesday nights for you. That's the only thing I'm going to give you. Either sometimes it's because of the demographic of the people that we move, unfortunately, and they don't want a certain crowd on a certain day. It happens to all of us. Sometimes it's just because you don't have a big name yet. You don't have,
sure.
and they don't know who you are and they don't know what to expect. But the point is that you got to show up, you got to do it, and you got to grow from there. And I understand you've been doing that. So
Yeah,
so then I know that you wrote to me a while back, and I know you had read the book first.
yep,
That was one of the reasons that you wrote to me, and I understand that you were, trying to just become bigger in
yep.
in this whole industry. Tell me a little bit more about that.
So I think real serious where I've been taking it was at least maybe the last 2 years. So before I moved to this new place where I'm at, it's in Uptown now. It's called Mansion Uptown. Before I made that move, I was at a place before that was like the best nightclub in town. I think I was there for about 5 years. I was pretty comfortable there. I was comfortable with what I was making and everything. And then I said
Were you? I'm sorry. Were you DJing and promoting, or just
I was doing both.
okay?
So I was doing both, and I got to make a living off of it, where I don't have to have a regular job, and I only had to work once a week, and it was fun. But it took me
By the
in those
way,
first
you don't
years.
call this a regular job, or now you do?
Now I do.
There you
Yeah,
go.
there's a lot of plannings, but this is before,
Correct.
So I would, I did that, and then the one of the owners from this place contacted me and letting me know if I want to go over to this new space. I actually declined the first time, and then he contacted me again on the summer,
Can I ask you
and
what made you say no first?
I was comfortable. And when
There you
you're
go.
comfortable and you're making good money and you're comfortable with that, having change, especially because then you're stuck thinking like, are people really coming out here for the events that I'm throwing, or are they just out here because we made this the hot spot,
Right.
And that was a big
So you
that was a
start
big
doubting yourself. You don't even know if you're really the reason this is happening, or am I good enough for that other thing? Am I gonna flunk there? And then
So I wrote down pros and cons, and I think the main thing was, like I said, we had a good 5 year run, and on top of that, I was writing there was no Latinos that would do events in Uptown. Like that's
right,
like not even for them.
right,
A lot of them do live in Uptown, but it's unheard of. So it was a risk too. Like I was risking moving over there. Are people really gonna come out? How's the parking? And no one's ever done it. So then I started thinking. I wrote everything down, the pros and cons, and it's something new. They have a 2 level patio. They have hookah, and it was both 18 and 21 plus in different levels. So I thought about it. I wrote it down, and I took the second time he called me was in the summer, and I said, okay, let's do it. And what the crazy thing was, I let the old owner know that I finished on a Saturday, and I let her know that I will no longer be working there. Thank you for the opportunity. Shook her hand. She's kind of upset, really upset.
right.
And she's asking me, where are you going? Didn't wish me the best, wish me the worst. And I still ended up shaking her hand because I don't like starting problems or anything.
Right.
And 1 week on that Sunday, I put an announcement that I'm no longer at this venue anymore, that I'm gonna switch over to a new place. I posted pictures throughout the years that I was at that place, and I got so much comments, so much feedback that they were saying, wherever you're going, man, we're gonna follow you. That 1 week later, in 7 days, we did the grand opening. In 7 days, I managed to put in like 600 people in that venue. There was a line down the block, like no one's ever seen that before. So,
Right.
People were standing in line for 2 hours. I mean, it was pretty crazy, and we had to decline like 300 people.
Right.
So, I thought it was and with the owner, we agreed that we're gonna let it give a couple of months, let it build up and everything. But it happened. I can honestly say it. I don't think it ever happens, but it happened like overnight. Like
Right.
the
So there's,
transition.
There are two ways to start when you're starting a new night, a new club, and promoting a new venue. And depending on the venue and depending on the the promoter per se, the company that's promoting, you can either go from little to big and grow something steady little by little, or you can go all in and first day is sell out and crazy numbers whatsoever. That is probably the best way. It's because it gets that word of mouth started right away. First of all,
Yep.
people start talking about it right away. Sometimes when you get clients, when you're starting to grow something from little to big, and you go little by little, people show up on the wrong night. It wasn't that
Yep.
great, and then word of mouth also goes the other way around. So it's a good thing when you prepare. How much time? That's the thing. You do this in 7 days, then it kind of shows you. I mean, I'm good at this. People are actually
Yep.
following me.
Yep.
Did you have
So
a company by that time? Is it the company that you're using now?
I
or
didn't. It was just under my name.
just Angel Ramirez?
And just Angel Ramirez, and that's it. I started branding it with this new night because I'm like,
Right.
so I was, I did it. We did our 1 year anniversary last summer,
Right.
and when I took it to the next step was now starting to branch out. So it was a year. It's pretty consistent. And then I said I want to do a Thursday night and I want to do a Saturday night. So I launched one. We did the Thursday one. It went really well, but at the place it's a rooftop, and the people want to go there in the summer. They don't want to go in there in the winter.
Right.
We did it. We started kind of late. That's the first time I started with a partner. So
Okay.
the whole Friday night has been me and by myself, and I have sub promoters now, and I have people that help me out. But for this new place that I did on Thursdays, I partnered up with somebody, and it's big different.
You know what? Partnerships is something I want to talk about, but let me touch on one little thing before we go into talking about partners and partnerships. People that are listening out there, promoters, sub promoters, owners, managers, anybody that's in marketing, what did you do that for you? What do you think was it that made you be able to bring 600 people from one venue to another within a week? What do you think made that happen?
No, nobody saw the behind the scenes. Everybody just think. I mean, if you just think about it, it happened overnight or whatever. But
Right.
Between that Sunday that I made that post, between there I contact. So there's one thing that I did when I listened to your post and to your videos. I was smart and I collected my database. Since the beginning, I had a phone just for all my VIP clients.
Right.
And I collected over, now I have almost 700 VIP numbers. So I reached out to them before any of the new automatic stuff,
Right.
personally texting them by their name and
Correct.
saying, hey man, and then not only text messages, the ones that I know more than an acquaintance, I would call them and let them know.
Right.
And so it was a lot of phone calls. It was a lot of text messaging. I didn't even do email back then. It was just
Right.
text messaging, phone calls, and Facebook and Instagram, and but a lot.
So for a fact that the personal factor is the most important.
Oh, that was because that first night, the place has about 50 booths, patio and inside.
Right.
And I sold it out by the middle of the week, and it was sold out, and there was a waiting list. But that was what was crazy. Not everybody could have gotten a table that night.
Right.
So, but nobody. It didn't just happen overnight. Phone calls,
Of course.
text messages, and it was a lot of work. A lot of work that I had to put in.
Right.
And
It's one of those things that people show up and go, man, I wish I had your job. It's so much fun just going out and partying with it. And you're here
That's
going
that's what they think. Yeah, they don't see the behind the scenes.
Right.
The planning, everything it's a lot of work.
Correct.
So
It's still
I
beautiful.
think that's what. Yeah.
It's still beautiful, but it's and you gotta love what you're doing. It's not for everybody.
Yep.
It's not definitely for
Yep.
everybody. But if you've been around for almost 20 years, between the DJing and now on this side of the court,
So the way I got into the big nightclub, the one that was there for 5 years, I actually went in as a photographer,
Okay.
to get into the nightlife scene. And from the photography, I got to meet the promoter that was there before, and he hired me for maybe 20 events. And I got to see the nightlife. I got to meet the DJ. And what's crazy now, the DJ that was DJing there, me and him are like really good friends now, and he's my main DJ. All my events, he's the guy there.
Nice.
Because he let me open up, because I'll go in there, hey, I DJ too. Who doesn't say that, right?
Right.
And they gave me a shot, but like I said, you got to pay your dues. I will only do from 10 to 11 o'clock when nobody's there. And I did that for a while. When I came back for myself, they hired me as a DJ, and when they saw that I was bringing people, they hired me as a promoter.
Right.
But if it wasn't for that DJ Paul, I don't think I would have been at the position. It just happened perfectly, And he called me, hey Angel, can you come and DJ with me? And I'm like, well, I told him, well, if I'm just gonna be opening up, I don't think so, man. I need to do some other sets throughout the night, because it's not worth it for me, Nobody's there. And he said, no, it's not gonna be like that. And I got in there, talked to the owners. I actually got to talk to the owners this time, and made a big difference.
Right.
And now we have a really good relationship. I work with him now. He owns this new venue on Fridays, and he owns another new venue in a different city, 90 minutes away. And I have 2 Saturday nights right now, so it's crazy how I'm doing all of that. But
See.
I think relationships and building good, being cool with everybody.
Right.
But you're gonna meet some people that you shouldn't do business with, and you learn the hard way. But I think having good relationships, being a man of your word, working hard is just gonna pay off no matter what.
Right.
And
it's not about getting a table and having drinks and having girls around, right?
No.
That's what some people think. That's what the promoters are. And
I see a lot of promoters, but they don't last.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And those are probably and that's all right, because we need some of those. That's most that are being sub promoters don't take this as serious and don't want to take it further. As you and I want to do so. So all right, let me get on to that subject that I wanted to talk about it, and it's partnerships, because it's one that you have actually asked me about also. And are you by yourself right now? Let me ask you, what's going on with you and partnerships currently?
So last year I did partner up for those Thursday nights. We had good events. We just started them too late in the summer. We think we started in August.
Right.
After Labor Day, it slowed down because it got really cold. But we stopped and we say let's end it with a bang. Let's do the Halloween event.
Correct.
And then let's follow up from there. We're talking and we're thinking of coming back in May, which we will go from May until Labor Day again, and that's it. Because that, like I said, that venue, people are only gonna, especially because it's a Thursday. If it was a Saturday or something, then it would be different. But since it's a Thursday night, the crowd that we're attracting, not as much go out. But on the Halloween was our best event there. We did some crazy numbers. It was jam packed. Even the couple of theme events we had, they were good. But we didn't keep going. We were thinking about it. Should we go through this crazy? These winters here are crazy. Yeah. And if it's Thursday night and it's negative 10 degrees, that many people really won't go out. But when it's Friday and Saturday, it's a good excuse, because we're done with the work week. Let's go have fun and let's go party. So it's totally different,
Right, definitely.
So no partnerships as of right now. Just I have my second night, my Saturday. I launched it, I think, around Halloween. Perfect timing. And this place is 3 levels. It's a restaurant downstairs. The second floor has a beautiful venue, and that's where we're doing our parties right now. And in the summer, we're going to transition over to the rooftop, which has like the best view of the city. So We're excited about that. We know right now it's not going to be the busiest, but in the summer, everybody's gonna remember it. But by then, we already built the name for it. So
cool.
I've been at it since November 1st, I believe, Dia de los Muertos, and it's been going really good. It's building up. It's not even the same. Not all the same people that come to our Friday events. It's like a different crowd.
That's awesome.
We get some, but not all of them. It's 2 different nights.
Right, but that's actually good. That's actually a very, very good and important thing you're touching on there. Having different parties throughout a week. Some people believe a promoter or a promoting company have only one kind of clientele or one group of people, and those are the same ones that go everywhere, wherever they go. And the good news is, when you are building different groups of people, different clients that are going to different venues, that's when you're actually building something bigger for the future. That's when things start to open up as to the possibility of you becoming an owner at some point, if that's something you wanted to do, because that means you probably have the opportunity of bringing different crowds in different days. When you're a promoter that only caters to that one group, you also, even if you own a new club, you open your place, you end up having to hire other promoters to still do other nights, which might end up being part of what you do, but you will still have the possibility of doing at least 2 nights on your own venue, which most owners don't end up really doing because it's very complicated to do.
They're gonna choose what day are they gonna come out.
Right, exactly. So, and then you start spreading your crowd. If you have 1,000 people and the venue holds 600, then you're only gonna have 500 each day. You don't know which day is gonna be better. So it's a good thing that you have that kind of problem where it's different people.
And we're how can I say, it's a Latin company, the one I'm building, Escape Latin Parties, but at the same time, I'm not 100% as in, like, when you come to our parties, people know
open format for Latin crowd.
Yep. And it's more heavy on reggaeton. We throw in bachata, we throw in some merengue, but we don't really dive deep into like salsa.
Right.
We don't. It's not like where the salsa dancers want to go dance.
Correct. It's an open. I get it. It's what's happening, worldwide, really. Like,
we've been doing that for 5 years, and I think that's what's worked for us, because a lot of our VIP clients, not all of them are Latino. They like Latin music because it's what's popular right now. They like Latina women, and for Saturdays, we're getting more of a diverse crowd. So we almost want to brand it more as an open format.
I mean, come on, did you see the Super Bowl halftime?
Yeah.
I mean, we're everywhere.
Yeah, so that was pretty exciting to watch, and everybody dances it. We get people from Africa and people from all over the world that go on Saturday nights. I can't call it international night because it's probably 80% Latin,
right,
and then 20% other.
So we call that over here, we call for ourselves, which is kind of what we do. We call it open format with Latin vibes, and because it's mostly Latin. And the crowd is also mostly Latin, but we are open to everybody else. That's actually where the name LMG, which is my company, comes from, which is La Misma Gente, the same people. We are all the same, and we cater to everybody, which is also a smart thing to do, by the way. You don't want to do parties for Mexicans only, or Nicaraguans, or Honduras, Colombia. Try to be open. Try to have as many people as possible, but try to understand what it is that you provide. This is the kind of music that we have, this is the ambience that we have, the kind of venues that we want to be with, and so don't get outside of that.
Yep. I think that's one thing that's helped me out. I mean, now where I'm at, I can't say I'm at where I want to be, but I'm better than where I was at before. Right. But I know right now I got so many venue offers. When I made that switch and I made all that buzz, a lot of venues offered me to work with them, but I picked venues that look really nice too. I think that's what matters, because like I said, there's other companies and other people that do Latin nights or try to do open format, but the venues that they go work with, they don't look upscale or anything. So I'm only trying to associate myself with that too, with my brand. People dress up for their parties, and people, if they're asking about dress code, then you shouldn't even come to the event. If it's depends on what they're trying to wear, but all of that, I think about it. Like I got venue offers that I would have taken it with a heartbeat back in the day, but now I can almost pick and choose where I want to go.
That's a good thing. Now you get to choose. Now you get to pick, and it's I bet you it's going to continue to be that way for a long time. Yep. And you're also going to have to start saying no a lot more than what you think. So Angel, before I give you my idea on partnerships, okay, I want to ask you one thing, and that's, being that you're one of the few people that I've had here, the other one is actually the Shay that's been on the podcast, that has read the book and also going through the beginner course that I have. What do you think is, how has that helped you, or how has it been helpful as a matter of fact? Tell me a little bit about that.
So what's crazy, I mean, throughout these years when I was learning, I learned the hard way when not knowing anything about the promotion company. Or so I would always search YouTube, Google. This is not a normal job where you can go to the store and buy a book. Now you can, but back then, no, you couldn't get. And then everybody's very quiet about it. They're not gonna talk. It's very confidential, and I understand it is confidential.
Right.
But other promoters, I mean, would not give the knowledge.
Correct.
They won't tell you. You got to learn your hard way. When I read your book, I was doing some of that stuff already, but a lot of it I wasn't. And I read the book in one day. I sat and I read it.
Awesome.
But I picked up a lot of things from there. But then I still go back to it. That's why I have it in my office.
Right.
The course was nice. I liked it. But I didn't like how it was. I couldn't go to the next. I mean, it was for a reason. So you can.
Right.
But I think I was somewhere towards the bottom already, like doing my own events. So it wasn't for self promoting, but it's good for someone like when I started and I wanted to get my feet wet. It's perfect because it gives you everything you need to know.
And you better get ready for what's coming, because now that the one that where you're at is coming out, I know it's something that's gonna blow your mind. But so to explain a little bit about what Angel's talking about is the course that I have is for a beginner level. So and intermediate, I would say. Now, so it kind of gives you A through C of what you have to do in a way if you're a sub promoter. It's really dedicated for a sub promoter. And then the main promoter course, which is what's coming, is what Angel is now. The head of his company and all that kind of stuff. Goes more towards that, and it actually talks about partnerships and all that kind of stuff too. So and it'll be also a lot faster to go through. The reason is I set it up in a way where it's actually like level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. You have to wait 15 days to go from one to the other, because people that are beginners, I wanted them to go through the whole actually doing that and making the phone calls and getting their contracts and getting all this stuff done, making sure they didn't jump from one, right, boom, boom, boom.
And it's very powerful information. Right. Like I said, a lot of it was in your book, so that's why I was like, I already know this stuff. But main things that I picked up that I can think about right now is the database, how important the database is.
Right.
Which I've been doing for the last 2 years. I think now I have like 1,500 emails.
Awesome.
For the text messages, about 800, and that's very important. And I have it organized, from where they came, from what venues. I haven't gotten too crazy how you do it from female to male. Right. I haven't done that. I need to go in and dig really good.
You will.
Yeah. All of that is good, man. It's really good information. You're not gonna hear that nowhere else. And which one else? The most important one that I picked up from the course was pre-planning your events. Like we even dig into do the third week, because people get paid that week. It's not at the end. It's not in the beginning. Third week is usually the best time for a theme event or anything, and it works, man. And how you said, don't throw an event right away. We'll plan it out for 3 weeks. Coming soon. Start launching the flyers and everything. So all that stuff works. Yeah. The pictures. See, I got more into video, and I will start posting a lot of videos of the events. But what I lost doing pictures this last week or two. I got back to it and started posting pictures every day, because I know in the course it says post pictures. People don't want to see flyers every day. It's a repetitive flyer. It gets boring. Right. You start posting pictures of people having fun at your events. They're going to be, who is that? Or, where is this? Yes. You start getting all these questions, and your engagement, everything goes up. So that's part of my job now. Every day I post. For each event that I have, I post at least 3 to 4 pictures a day.
Awesome. And I have actually seen your videos, by the way. When you get all the people outside in the line. I saw it for Halloween, and you actually put it on inside the private group for the students and all that. So it's great. All video, pictures, anything that can show what's happening in your event is going to be a beautiful thing. Angel, and thank you for your review, by the way. But all right, so let me get into the subject of partners, the pros and cons, and should I have a partner or not. The reality of this is that it's not the same thing for everybody. It's however you feel more comfortable. What is my recommendation? I always talk about the fact that I think having 3 partners in general is the best thing to do now, for one reason. And I'm not talking about partners the way that you're seeing partners.
Okay.
The partnerships that you're talking about for one day specifically, or for one party, I see them here as mergers. Where two companies join forces and they partner for an event, but they're
Okay.
not really partners in the company.
Okay.
So the partnerships that I talk about usually have to do more with actual partners of the company.
Yeah.
Being Angel, Roger, and Juan. The three people that are doing this together, and everybody has their own responsibilities and jobs and whatever, and their compensation. And I like it when those three have the same, also percentage of the company. There's a reason for this. One of them, and the main reason, is the fact that votes make
Hmm.
sense when you have three people. When you have two partners in a company, then when you're 50-50 on a decision,
Yep.
it's complicated, because a lot of times you may feel like, man, I really want to do this, and your partner may be like, no, that's not gonna work, I don't like it, whatever it may be. And you have, number one, you could be like, all right, you may not do it, because of the fact that your partner doesn't want to. Number two, you guys may do it, and then your partner may say, I told you so. Or you may be not, maybe the person that doesn't like it, maybe you're the one that doesn't like the idea, but you guys do it anyway. And then you go, man, I told you, and you don't feel comfortable because you guys ended up doing something that you weren't happy about. So it becomes a little complicated. When you have a third vote, it helps in that sense. Now, a lot of people think, yeah, but if I partner up with two people, then I'm splitting my money with those two people. Yeah, but those two people are supposed to be bringing also sales. The numbers are supposed to go up. So this is where the whole, thing comes to, you have to start measuring. What kind of venue? Is it scalable where you're working at? How many people can you actually bring to work with you? How many subs can you hire? How much can I actually sell more than what I already do? Am I already at sellout level? You talked to me about having 50 tables at this venue and 600 people, and all 50 booth being sold out that day, that first night, for example. If you bring two partners in, are you going to be able to sell more booths? No, there's no more booths. Now,
Hmm.
are you going to be able to sell more at the bar? Are you going to be able to bring a better clientele, and maybe upsell those booths instead of $500 booth at
And
$1,000 booth? Those kinds of things. That's when you start measuring those. What kind of partner do you have? And then the main thing is this somebody that you feel completely like, you trust the person. And of course, at the beginning, this is always a learning process. You know what I
yep.
mean? Like you're talking to me about the DJ that's now your main DJ, for example, and
Yep.
he's somebody who's become your friend. He's the go-to guy for you when it comes to music, which is a very important position in the company, by the way.
Yep.
And then also, this is a guy that opened his doors towards you too at the beginning. So
Yep.
I'm sure you got, if someone like that was in the picture and had the potential to become a partner in that, they could move the people, they could hire sub promoters, they could get great venues, all the things that you know how to do also, then some of that pressure starts to spread between
Okay.
more people, and it's a good idea in that sense. But if you have everything under control and you are not stressing out and you think that you can still control it, that's fine. Now, I do believe that there's always room to grow. You have two parties on Saturday currently, for example,
Yep.
two venues that are 90 minutes apart, therefore, it would be a nice idea to have one there, one here, and just one company instead of merging with other companies. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
if one of those people were willing to be a part of your company, instead of having their own, and maybe theirs not growing that much, it just really depends on the different relationships, the different companies. Also, sometimes you want to do a partnership with someone, but they don't want that. They just want to merge. They want to use their brand, and they want to build on their brand. Then you have to think, is this something I want to do? Am I going to be building them instead of building my brand? Then so that's why I like partnerships when everybody's kind of focused on the same thing. And when you're throwing a party, you are doing this for a few reasons. One of them is making money, of course, but it just comes with having fun and enjoying this whole thing. But then you are always building your brand. You're always thinking about, how is my company gonna grow, right? Your company is your baby, and you need to, always be thinking of, how do I get better venues? How do I get, better DJs, better acts, better clients, more clients, and the same way you have to be thinking, how can I get the right partner? The reality is, I believe 3 is the best number. I think you are in a position where you are able currently to build something without the partnerships that is big enough for you not to share. But there might be a day when you're interested, and I'm gonna explain a little bit about that too. Okay. I've been around for 25 years doing this, right? Throwing parties for 25 years. So after 25 years of throwing parties, now I'm married with 3 kids. Things change, right? So first of all, one of the things is we used to be 3 partners, and then one of the partners left the city and is doing well in Orlando now, also doing the same. But we are here. It's 2 of us, right? But the 2 of us decided it was time for us to partner with a younger demographic, correct? Okay. We needed new blood. We needed people that were able to be at the parties every night and, be the face of the company, basically, right? As we continue to operate the behind the scenes, everything, that you understand, everything that people don't see, which you spend most of your day doing, right? So we found those people, and we've been doing that for the past 2 years, right? But at this moment in time, I am actually going through a change of that, because these people, without having any, we haven't had any arguments or anything. We shook hands the way that you shook hands with the owner of the venue, as you mentioned. But they decided, they want to grow their own thing and build a brand that they feel that is their own. They didn't feel like this was their brand, even though we gave it, all we could. For them to do so, but they decided, we want to build our own brand. The reality with that is that it's a bad thing, in the end, because it's an ego thing in the end. Yep. It has to do more with ego than anything. The fact that if you're given the opportunity, if you're somebody young and you're given the opportunity to be a part of something bigger than you should take that opportunity and take that and be a part of that. But I can't, I'm not on both sides of the equation, so I'm not able to understand the way they might feel or whatsoever. But I do believe that there are, the right junior partners is how we would call those who would be kind of just doing that part of the equation, being at the clubs, taking care of the nights and just being the face and taking care of the clientele and the, the night operation more than the whole operation. Yep. Okay, so that's what I think about partnerships. I recommend it, and at the same time, it is hard to find. My partner, who I've been partners with for 25 years, bro, like, we're married. You know what I mean? Like, we have arguments that are like probably like every other day we may have an argument, but it really lasts 10 minutes and it's over. And it's probably more discussions about business and whatever, but we always do what's right for the company. It's kind of like raising a kid without being married. It's kind of like, all right, let's see what dad thinks, what mom thinks, and in the end we both want what's best. Correct? Okay. All right, my man.
Do you guys have weekly meetings or
yes, 100%. Okay. We never, weekly meetings can't stop. If you are not close to each other to be able to meet, have a phone call. FaceTime. It's better to see the faces than just hear the voices. Definitely do not have meetings via text. You do not understand what people are trying to say when they're texting.
The emotion behind the text.
Yes, exactly. So it's usually, especially when it's business, you may get the wrong idea of what the other person is saying, and you don't want that. You want it to be said. You could say, "I hate you" with a smile, and it's not a bad thing. Anyway, Angel, I thank you so much, man, for being here today. Why don't you tell everybody your handles and where your parties are in Minneapolis?
So my handles are for Instagram is DJ Angel Ramirez MPLS, which is for the city Minneapolis. I might change it to MN soon, but DJ Angel Ramirez MPLS. You can find me on Facebook with that all that handle. And our parties are in Minneapolis. Fridays we are in Uptown Minneapolis at the Mansion. Saturday at 7 in downtown Minneapolis. And another Saturday, the other event is in Rochester, Minnesota, at the Social right now for the winter, and then we're moving to a rooftop at H3. So
Awesome.
It's a lot of stuff.
I'm gonna have to come over when it's not so cold.
Summer, we actually it gets hot here in the summer.
There you go. Awesome.
So
I have to pay.
You gotta enjoy it. So.
All right, Angel. Thank you so much, guys. You can find me at the Nightlife Entrepreneur on Instagram. You find the book on Amazon, The Nightlife Entrepreneur. You also find all the other podcast episodes on nightlifepodcast.com and on YouTube as The Nightlife Podcast. So, yeah, that sounded repetitive. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you, Angel.
Yep, no problem. Peace.